All right.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Sketchbook Heroes Summer Special.
Special.
Hi, guys. It's me, Ilias.
And me, Robert. There we go.
Puss a crown.
Puss, cram.
So, intro.
Intro.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, let's do a quick intro. Quick.
Yeah, quick.
Special.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons, even with beards and tattoos. You know they haven't changed at all. Failing sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero, sketchbook hero, pick up the sketchbook hero. They don't seem to have any line. Sketchbook hero.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is the
Whoa,
special
whoa.
episode?
Yes, what is it, Ilias? Please,
Yeah.
enlighten me. Us.
So we're going to be lazy this summer, I guess, or maybe something happens. We need extra episodes.
We're never lazy.
Never. Actually, I tried calling myself lazy, and I got called out on it. So
Yeah.
I cannot be lazy yet, apparently.
I think I'm starting to live up to the lazy now.
Cool.
I've always called myself lazy.
I know.
As you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have it tattooed on your leg
On my shoulder.
and
actually.
your shoulder. But
My-
didn't
my
you
leg
have
is-
lazy on your
No, that's power. Just to make it as cheesy.
power lazy?
Lazy
Different.
power.
lazy,
Lazy man power.
lazy manpower. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
actually true.
Yes. And
Sponsored by Manpower. No.
but yeah, so break it down. Let's
break it down.
What
Okay.
are we doing? What's the special
We're
thing?
gonna talk about. I wrote something really smart down. Goals and the success in failing. Exactly. We've talked about goals before, and we talked about failing before,
But
we've
now-
never talked about it
in a special.
in a special way. Yeah.
special. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I have
That's
no
my
idea
thing.
what the fuck.
I always have to do that.
No, but I think just to get us started, I have my notes are messier than my mind right now, which is
That's not possible.
yeah, and
Es no
but
posible.
it is just we all have these goals, and we get so discouraged of pursuing them, like school, or like, oh, but I could do this job that I hate because income.
Yeah. And like
And-
safety first.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I don't remember who said this, and I heard it, and I said it to you last week, I think. But we
Fuck you.
basically live our lives backwards. Like we take all the risks later in life
Oh yeah.
rather than early on when we're like young and dumb and full of, hopes. And
Nice.
I was like, save it. I don't want to say it. And it's just like we don't take enough risks when we're young in the way that it matters when we're older. Like we're like, oh, I'm going to do my business ventures later when I'm grown up.
Exactly.
And then when you're grown up, there's mortgages, kids, wives, dependencies that aren't even there
no.
when you're young. So if you are below 30 and you're free out of like all those things, this is for you.
Yes.
Fuck your friends, not literally, and the other stuff, and try to focus on the thing that you can live off of. Like you can take the risks of pursuing those dreams and
Yeah.
passions now, and then smooth sailing the rest of your life,
Exactly.
So do the hard work now that you actually have the time.
Try and try again.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually you will find out that, oh yeah, I can't do that.
I can't do that,
can't
or
do
I
that.
don't even like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of like my approach to school that I talked about before.
Mhm.
Like, for me, school was all about learning what I hated to do.
I love that you did a lot of different school things. Like
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Like if you think about school, the early days, art school,
Oh, yeah.
and then sort of like your high school years
Mhm.
of like
Oh, yeah. The university.
university things,
Mhm.
and then the abroad thing, and
Yeah.
it's all the things you don't want to do
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. But it
You've
was
done it,
all
like-
sort of related to art in
Yeah,
some sort of way.
That's what I mean.
But that's so especially, and again, that ties into what you just said about later in life, because
Yeah.
now I'm an old fart compared to when I was in university, and definitely compared to high school.
Mhm.
But this was the biggest risk, going like fucking off to Australia for 2 years. And like, well, I guess I'm gonna do product design because
Wow, you
there's
just
something
like, I'm just like, no.
there's something about drawing in there, I think. And it was awesome. It was so great. I really liked it. Never in a million years would work as a product designer, but having done 2 courses in it, I feel like I've learned that.
Yeah. No, but I do get it. And I think it is like when you start off, the hungrier you are for everything in the field that you're in is good, because then you can try it out. You know,
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
this is going to be, this is shit.
Yeah.
You know, like you at least, you can rule it out for now at least.
Yeah.
Like I gave it a chance. We did this for 2 years or 1 year, you know, like 6 months. No thanks.
Yeah.
And that is just as valuable as,
Exactly.
you know, like,
Yeah. That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
get to as well. It's even more valuable, I think, because that is not, now you have sort of the what do you say? Like, you have all the answers in a way, or
Mhm.
like faucet in hand.
yeah,
Uh,
face it in hand.
So now I can save myself all of that trouble, because I know that, well, this, and this is something that I really don't
Yeah.
have any interest in, and I don't want to do it all.
Mhm.
So that's a whole big portion of this, whatever it is,
Yeah.
of my life that I can just fuck off. You know, I
Mhm.
don't need to see you anymore.
Yeah.
Now I can focus on just this. It's just easier that way. But going back again to the whole trying to do as much as possible when you're younger, I
Mhm.
think, well, if this is, again, from my perspective, I didn't know what options I had when I was younger, you
Mhm.
know? So I think that sort of is something you learn with age as well, that you start to see that, oh yeah, well,
But I think we
You know,
didn't have YouTube to help us out,
no,
or like
no.
internet. Like, oh, I can do all these things if I want to.
Exactly.
You know, like there's
but
these
I think even if you have that, when you're starting out, you're such a noob in that way that you don't really understand how
Mm.
broad, like, the artistic world is really.
Sure.
You know,
'Cause some, yeah,
I'm
'cause-
really doing the broad thing here, but and I think the more you work in the field, you start, you know, socializing with people, seeing different things, learning
Mhm.
more, and that expands your bubble more and more and more.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize you had to draw that thing for that thing.
Yeah.
That could be fun, or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So just, I don't know, it just makes sense that you would try more and more things when you get older, instead of when you're younger, because you're like, I don't know, I guess you're lazy too as a kid, and you don't want
To some extent, yes. Like when it
like-
comes to that stuff, like.
yeah, you just want to do the bare minimum,
Mhm.
but then automatically want to succeed
The
directly,
best,
like
yeah,
immediately,
the best possible way, like be
like
the
winning
most
the
successful.
lottery with
Yeah.
every post you do, or painting, or whatever.
Whatever
it is.
it is you do, you
Yeah.
want to succeed immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no. You don't have it in your head that you need to work for something,
Mm-hmm.
but you do. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
just subliminally, or
Not
God.
subliminally, but unconscious.
yes, unconsciously.
You know what I mean.
Yes,
And I
brain,
know what you mean.
subconsciously.
Subconscious. Thank you. Unconscious.
God, our brains.
Oh yeah.
brains.
So this is the second episode we're recording today. No excuses. We're
No
always
excuses.
this dumb.
Yes, always.
But again, we're not gonna like try to derail, which we've done and do,
Always.
and we
Tried and
probably
true.
will. But like setting goals is super important to be able to achieve anything.
Yeah.
Like there are probably people that don't and still succeed, but this is not for you.
No, it's probably going to take them a lot longer to get there.
Yeah, sometimes I guess some people do get in luck's way more than others.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when it
Some
comes
people
to-
are
yeah.
just lucky.
Yeah.
Really. I think I am, or we maybe.
We are. We
Yeah,
are.
We've had a
And-
lot of
yeah.
really awesome opportunities throughout our
Yeah.
lives, but we've
And-
also made them happen.
I think
You know?
that is like what we've talked about before as well with luck. But let's screw luck for now.
Screw luck.
Like writing your goals down, like have some, like I'm going to be the owner of Disney. That can be a goal, sure. But also having, like that is your world domination goal. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But also have goals that are
Realistic.
realistic,
Or like easy.
attainable.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
attainable.
Exactly.
Like if you want to work at Blizzard, that's not a hard thing. Like it's not impossible. I mean, like
No.
to be employed at a company that you enjoy, or whatever company that entails to, like
Exactly.
whatever you love, like Wizards of the Coast to draw magic cards, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that is possible, but you need to make
There are certain steps
yeah.
in order
To
for
get
you
there.
to get
Yeah.
to that goal, and those steps are also goals. I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah, they're minor goals. Like you're missing. Like what am I missing? Like
Exactly.
so, because we're not gonna be able to specify your specific goal, like stretch, like your goals to reach your sort
no,
of
exactly.
like
We don't know
main
what,
goal, like
what your
the steps.
goal is.
Yeah, but the idea is basically if you have like whether it's like a comic that you're working on, or a game, or like an app, whatever the fuck it is.
Exactly.
Like you have no idea how to do this. And I think this is where this episode sometimes, I think this is shit that you already know, but
100%.
sometimes you just need it kicked into your head anew, just to like get the ball rolling again.
Yeah.
And just like think of what it is you really want to achieve. Like pick your example. And then what do I need to get there?
Yeah.
So
This is something you can
yeah.
do in your head.
Yeah,
Straight-
I would
straight off the bat.
suggest to write it down, because just like we tried to come up with stuff today without writing them down, they were very much like, oh, what were we going to talk about again? Like
Yeah.
that thing.
I was thinking like just the
But to
easiest
start,
part.
yeah.
Yeah. The goal.
The
Yes.
goal, yes.
That's probably
think-
something that you will remember.
Yeah, but I think like writing it down will give you steps.
Yes.
Steps can be crossed off as done, which is helpful.
Yes.
And also it is basically like saving your old drawings. You see progression, like in whatever the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think just like write your shit down. Like, okay, I want to make a comic. Okay, I need to first draw the comic. If you're an artist, you can probably draw it yourself. It
Well,
might
first you need a script.
but you need a script. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you have the drawing, okay? You can draw yourself. That's fine. Like you have the artist. But then like Robert said, you need the script. And then once the comic is done, like if we skip some steps like proofreading and like blah blah blah, someone to actually write it as a functional comic.
Oh, yeah.
But let's say you've made your comic. Now you need to know printing, cost. Can you sell the comic without a company? Like in Sweden, if you're selling shit, you might need a company to do it through, since it's like a business.
Yeah.
But no matter, like all these things that you do along the way. Let's say you made your comic, you're standing, you found some distributors that will help you out. You found a printing place. You did all these things. You've been shouting it from the hills, to everyone you know. You've sold a few copies. Your mom bought like 20 of them, and your friends bought like one each. And you're standing there, with 10,000 copies of a comic book no one wants to read.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it or you give it to someone professional, they're like, yeah, it's not very good.
Exactly.
There's still reason to do it.
Yeah. You shouldn't see yourself as a failure at that
You are
point.
at that moment a
Yeah.
failure
Yeah,
in
but
a good way.
exactly.
That's the thing. Like you did fail from what you set out to do. You failed to become the recognized
Yeah.
comic book
You're-
artist that
you're like-
came from nowhere, and
You're not Todd McFarlane.
or any other comic of reference that you love. But it's so like, sure, you failed at the thing you set out to do, but you did, like, in that process, you learned about the cost of printing. You learned how to maybe start your own company to, like, be able to sell stuff. You learned about the how hard it is to fucking make a comic, to actually draw it, like the amount of time, the struggles you had, putting, images and script together in a way that makes sense. And, like maybe you got some new contacts along the way that you didn't have before. There are so many things that in this failure within Bunny Ears, like there's so many wins there. The next time you do this, or maybe the next time there's a friend like, oh, I have this comic, and you see potential in that comic, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy can actually draw a comic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can put your knowledge into that project and help this artist grow, for example. Or maybe it's your second attempt. You already have the printing was pretty fucking awesome at the place you did, but your art was shit, back then. It's been a few years, but you still have like some contacts within some publishing place or something if you don't want to do it yourself. Like you've set up a lot of the groundwork for your next attempt. And you learned so much. If you just don't focus on the fact that you didn't become a world-renowned artist on your first attempt.
Exactly. Don't fold up and leave just because you, within Bunny Ears, failed the first time. That's a part of life. That's how you evolve. So, yeah, it's like you have to try and turn every failure around on its head and make that into a win. Because it is.
It is basically that, because if you hadn't done the comic, let's say your friends were like, oh, well, you're not that good yet. And then, like people are like, yeah, but comic books don't make money. Yeah, and then you get that.
Yeah.
And then your parents are like, maybe you should get a real job. You should become a doctor, and whatever the pressure is on you. And people are reflecting their fears onto you and wanting you to have a better life where you're unhappy behind a desk. And yeah, that's good. That's great. But you wouldn't have learned all the things you did learn while failing at this comic thing.
Exactly.
Because maybe you realize, oh shit, I don't want to do comics, but I do like the idea of publishing books.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you pursue that.
Just like, I love the writing part.
Or
like,
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, maybe I'll just write a book instead.
Or maybe I don't like any of that other stuff, and I just want to do the comic book, because then I can focus on that, and then I'll find someone that's good at, whatever else. Like, you don't know. That's the thing. If you don't try, you will always be equally dumb. Like ignorant. Yeah, about what's out there for you. That's why it's super important. Like, oh, I have an app. Like, yeah, cool. What's the idea? Like, and then you explain it. It's this app where you can do a thing, and that thing would help these people. Like, okay, cool. You have a demographic. You have an idea. That's pretty cool. But it's not finished. Like MVP. So, like, minimal just viable do the amount that you can do where you think there's value. Like, what is the least? Let's say you have this. If it's super complicated, we can't release like make it super complex. What can I do right now? But we can release part of it. Like, sort of. What is the?
So it's like knowing what assets you have available, or
no, it's like what we can deliver in the first phase of things.
Yeah,
that still makes the product a product. So whatever your idea is, like releasing a comic, and then just having images but not the text is not a minimal viable.
No.
It's like you'd need like sort of like we can release a 30-page issue as a first,
Yeah, the pilot.
Yeah, the pilot basically, or like we have 3 issues that we can release, or like it maybe doesn't apply to comics in that sense, but in gaming we could make like this part of the game where the game functionality is there, but we can't add all the cool features around it, that happen later, and so you try to sort of like, okay, well, we can release this app and it'll have these features that are super valuable to our user group. And then you can add other cool shit later because it's an app. You can update it to fucking infinity.
Of course.
So just release what you have as long as it meets a demand. You know what I mean? Or like it helps people out with a certain thing, whether it's an art thing or, whatever else. Like our podcast, we do tie it around art, but...
That's just because it's closer to home, easier to talk about.
But... when we talk about like goals and like pursuing shit, it applies to everyone,
everyone and everything.
And
really.
I do know that we have some people that are not into art in that sense, but still enjoy listening.
Yeah, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, yes. I don't understand.
But thank you.
But just try to just release it. Because when you release something, and it is, like, whether it really gets appreciated or not, like, you'll find out.
Exactly. That's the idea. I
Yeah.
guess.
No, but that's what I mean. And when people start using something, they also have some complaints.
Yeah.
The people you won't hear from are probably the people that love it.
Yeah.
But you'll hear about the bad things, and I'm not talking about people that are like, oh, your app sucks, fuck you in the app, like those crazy anonymous people that love to do their thing. But there are some people like, oh, I would love this functionality or this thing, or I'm missing this to make this.
Yeah. Or like this is glitching, or you're gonna get good.
You're gonna get some
feedback,
stuff like sure
hopefully.
you'll have bugs and stuff, but I'm talking about the stuff that'll help your product work.
Yeah.
So basically, they're doing the work for you. Like they're throwing out ideas at you for free to improve what you already put out there. Some will be things you plan to add, and some will be, oh shit, I didn't even think about that potential. And that's just because you put it out there, and like the world responded, because that's what the world does, And sometimes it's by trolls, and sometimes it's something useful.
Yeah.
But our podcast, like, we knew nothing about podcasts. I didn't even know how they work. Like, I know they recorded them and then somehow uploaded them to the interwebs, you know. And that's how we got started with this podcast. And I think my wife has a picture of me, like, sitting, like, we Googled shit. And, like, okay, there were some super cheap options that I didn't want to go with, because I hate cheap options because I don't want the sound to be utter shit.
Cheap.
But but there's like even cheap stuff nowadays that are so good.
Yeah, the bar is just always.
Yeah, but we
always
had
great.
some money, since we do have the jobs that we have.
Yeah.
So I had some saved money. This is before we bought the house, so I had some money saved, So I didn't really mind spending it on this thing.
Well,
So
testing things out.
And we didn't buy the most expensive stuff. We just bought the stuff that we felt was worth it.
Yeah.
And we didn't even need to buy microphones back then. Now we've invested like another $12,000 getting like this new setup with guest microphones and shit.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we didn't record at King anymore, we didn't have half our gear.
Exactly. Reality kicked us in the face.
But we bought everything from scratch again.
Yeah, we did.
Because we broke the previous recorder.
That's right.
It still works somewhat, but
Yeah, but
it's still like,
and again, that's us learning more.
Yeah.
Now the sound is a lot crisper,
a lot better. Yeah.
And we wouldn't have known that unless we
had
switched.
done.
And you just, we both kind of said, well, fuck it, let's just buy a new one.
Yeah.
And let's upgrade.
Yeah, let's upgrade because we need like guests and more microphone slots and stuff for our.
And that's because we have tried and failed. Well, failed. But
yeah, but we did. Like it was.
It felt not. It didn't work perfectly. Like us sharing a microphone, interviewing somebody.
Yeah.
It was a little bit sort of wonky or awkward.
Yeah, the first ones, especially the ones over Skype, that I didn't enjoy, like setting up.
Exactly. Like. Yeah. It all. I don't know what to say. Fuck.
No, but the thing is, imagine this. Like, from never podcasting, we needed to set up a website. We needed a logo. We needed fucking equipment. And then, like, what is good equipment? You go online, and there's a million options.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what do we record in? There's a million ways and options. Like, there are recording devices. There are devices where your recording device goes into and the microphones go into that, and there's something called phantom power, and there's stuff, and there are like stupid names to everything. And you're like, I don't even know what this is.
No.
And
so which mic do I get?
yeah, so exactly that. Exactly, because if it doesn't support phantom power, then the microphones won't work. And I was like, I don't know what phantom power is.
Yeah.
And then I learned what phantom power was, because phantom power for me sounds like a superhero or like a bad guy, or like the phantom power.
Yes.
It's just words, fancy words from the industry, that has been like, and it's so daunting, but you just do it. And then we recorded our first episode and our third, and we sounded dumb as shit.
Yeah.
But the sound was good, like for what we thought was good back then.
Exactly.
And
Compensate.
Yeah. And there was so much work that went into making the podcast just happen.
Yeah.
Because I started in August, and we wanted it to be, we wanted a theme song, we wanted the logo, we wanted the website, and we did all those things, but it wasn't just, the podcast just didn't appear.
No.
We recorded, we failed, we did things, we tested, we did a lot of things before.
Because I was still living in Denmark when we started discussing the podcast. Like when we started brainstorming the podcast. Because you sent the theme song and everything to me when I was still in Denmark.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh shit, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's all just...
But it was because I had decided to move back.
Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah. I don't even know why we decided to start a podcast.
No.
I think we say it in the beginning, we found podcasts, but they weren't as many back then, and they weren't
catered to what we wanted to hear.
Like
when
fun stuff.
Exactly. If you want to listen to an art podcast or some podcast about art, God, my words are getting jumbled in my head. If you want an art podcast, you're gonna get this boring lecture art.
Yeah, some of them
podcast,
are
something like that.
Some are super pretentious,
and
some are good in a way where informative, where maybe our podcast is not super crazy about teaching.
No,
it's more about reflection, fun, and experience,
and just
in the way we do it,
and really casual talk.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Derailing.
And I mean, it all came about, as far as I remember, us just sitting in the our coffee shop and doodling and talking shit and dude, we should record this. This is so much fun. And we'd always talked about having if we just had this camera crew that was always with us to capture all of these stupid things that we did.
Yeah.
And then we just kept talking about it, and then you came up with the idea of the podcast pretty much. Because you've always been more into podcasts and audiobooks and shit like that, more than I have, at least.
Yeah, I think audiobooks was what got me into it. And then I was like, ooh, but there's other things you can listen to.
There's this podcast.
But we did find our audience, a small audience, but still our audience. And we still enjoy doing the podcast and reflecting over these things.
And that's the thing, in the core essence of this podcast for me is that we get to hang out and talk shit.
Definitely that, yeah.
That's why
and
I'm
we
here.
never, and you don't talk like we do in this podcast outside of the podcast. We do.
Yeah.
But I don't do this with other people that much. You know, I don't talk for hours usually about, a certain topic in that sense. You just
hell no.
It feels like when you talk to other people, you just like we do it here as well, but you just jump. You generalize, you talk about things loosey-goosey, and then you move on, and you don't remember what you talked about.
No, you don't go into depth and try to get stuff out of.
Yeah.
Because, we do derail
a
constantly.
Lot, yeah, that's the way we talk, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still when we derail, we try to still get things out of those derails as well. Not all of them, of course. Cunt, rag, and whatever.
What? I never said. I deny this.
But it's still it's all rooted in just us having fun talking.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see that, from that little idea of us sitting there sketching together in a coffee shop, and we're sitting here now, these many years later, over 100 episodes out. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy.
And people are still listening.
And that's the thing.
But it was a goal. We set the
goal
and we achieved it.
Yeah, and even if we had failed, now I know how to fucking upload podcasts, how to do it, what my options are.
How to edit, what programs to edit in, what, what it should sound like, what a good intro is, what a bad intro is, what we can talk about,
Yeah.
what we can't talk about, or like we can talk about anything. But getting that again, the feedback from people, like you said,
Yeah.
some people have come up. Like for example, we talked or we wanted to talk about depression in one episode.
Oof.
You know, it was so hard to tackle that subject because I just needed to vent the shit that was going on in my head and
Yeah.
didn't think about that there are people out
people,
there with a lot
actual-
serious
Yeah.
conditions than I do, and they were probably hoping for, you know, maybe some sort of answer or
Yeah.
enlightenment or something out of that episode.
Definitely.
When, you know, we did our thing with it and just, you know,
Yeah.
fucked it in its mouth.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
But I think that is
Pretty
very
much.
accurate. But
And
I
then
think
having the guy come up to us, or
yeah,
me,
same guy that gave us praise like a couple of episodes ago.
yeah, came up and was
Yeah.
like, guys, this wasn't
This
okay.
sucked.
Like,
Yeah, this sucked.
This was really, like, I didn't get anything.
But
out
not
of it.
everyone felt that way. But that getting that feedback though, like, makes you think, because we're not afraid to say a lot of things, and we've said a lot of dumb shit through these 100+ episodes,
Constantly.
and constantly, yeah, we've
yes.
said a lot of stupid things, and that's the thing that shouldn't stop you from like saying shit, like, because if you self-censor all the time,
You're not going to say anything.
you're not gonna. Your words have no meaning. You're trying to cater everyone. Like, oh, these people, and then these people, and then these people. As long as you're not aiming to be offensive, say whatever the fuck you want. Like,
yeah, be true.
yeah.
like,
and then,
that's
and
all
then
you
when
can
people
do.
call you out, like, oh yeah, but you know that is racist slur for, and you're like, oh,
Oh,
shit,
shit.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know.
Exactly.
Sorry, people, I didn't mean that. Didn't even know it.
No. It's
but-
like, and that's
but
how we
you-
learn.
But you grow, and I think there are so many episodes where I'm just like, I can't promote this, you know,
Yeah.
once we've recorded it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's just like you have to push that. Like, you have to get out of your comfort zone and do, you know, the thing,
Yeah.
whether it's talk,
Nonsense.
or try to tackle things that are a bit beyond your, like, knowledge. This
yeah.
podcast isn't the best art podcast out there when it comes to certain things, but we do have things in this podcast that you don't get from another art podcast.
Bouquet.
Exactly.
That one episode.
That one episode. Exactly. How many podcasts have bouquet on? No, but what I'm saying is that, like, you have to see what you bring to the table. Like, our goal, I think we found it to be, like, we want to keep you guys company while you create cool shit. So we
Exactly.
want to be a positive force in your creative process. Are we going to teach you a lot about art?
Probably not.
Probably not, but maybe there's, like, in every, you know, stupid thing we say, maybe in every 1,000 stupid things we say, there's a nugget of usefulness.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good enough for me. I'll take that. I'm not a fucking scientist in this field.
Nope.
I'm just an artist doing artsy stuff, getting by, and sharing, you know, my ups and downs. And Robert is, you know, in a different artistic field with his ups and downs, and then we meet somewhere in the middle in this dark room with a Christmas tree,
Yeah.
sharing our things.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so just whatever it is you want to do, just try it the fuck out. Like, we've tried, for example, like, we did succeed to make the podcast.
Yes.
Where we failed, for example, like, we did get a following of awesome people, and we thank you all for it. I'm not going to name drop because I don't want to forget any of you.
No.
But you're
All
all
of you.
awesome, but
Yeah.
all of you.
Yes.
We're just going to call you.
If you're listening to
you-
this,
yeah,
you are fucking
are-
awesome.
Yeah, you are it.
Thank
Even
you.
if you don't, like, I know there are people that listen, because when I look at the numbers, which aren't, like, you know, major numbers, but there's, like, more people that listen than interact with us on, for example, Discord.
Yeah.
And there are more of you out there, Sketchbook Heroes folks, that are, you know, you're there. You just don't have a need to talk to us. You know
No.
what I mean? And that's fine too. Like, we
We're
keep
not
you
asking you to.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I am. No, I'm just kidding.
Promote us.
Promote
God damn
us.
it.
God damn it.
Yeah.
No. But it is just like we love that you are there in whatever, like, however you want to listen to the podcast. That's fine by us.
Yeah.
Like, but where we failed with the podcast, for example, is distribution. Like, we
Exactly.
haven't, like, with our comeback, we never managed to, like, reach the
Go
glory
back.
days.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
And with the social media climate changing, we don't have the knowledge to
reach it. Or like
reach,
or
to use Instagram as a big thing that we did before.
Yeah.
Because things do change, and we need to find, better ways of sort of promoting that part of us.
Yeah.
Because we're terrible at that. But when we do have events, like live events here in Sweden, we
kick ass.
we kick ass. Like,
Yeah.
we kick so much ass that it's insane. And I can't believe how our inability to grow the podcast still has
That impact.
with all these real people out there, like, wanting to come to our event so much that we have to
limit
the amount of people that can come, because we can't have 200 people in our studio.
fire hazard.
And, fire marshals will come and slap everyone in the face.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's what they
And
do.
we'll lose the studio.
Oh, yeah, that too.
That too. That is
Yeah.
also a negative. But you could also all die if a fire
Yeah.
would happen. So
So
yeah.
again, but we would learn from that.
Learn from that.
Yes. So we would know the next time.
That corpses taste like chicken.
Yes.
Burnt
Everything.
corpse.
Burnt.
Everything tastes like chicken.
Yes.
Barbecue chicken. Which is, So, like, don't be afraid. You can't only chase success. You know what I mean?
That's very profound and brilliantly put.
Yeah. After all that bullshit, that's the only thing you need.
That's the outtake.
That's
what
that's
I'm
what
editing.
I said. Every
editing down.
1,000 words, there's
that little nugget. There you go.
probably more than 1,000
Yeah.
words between that and and anything else good we said.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just need to, like, go out there and try these things out. Like, the amount of, like, I don't reflect on my successes. That's the thing. But when I fail, there's like, oh, why the fuck did that go poorly?
Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
a lot of
There's
answers there.
Most
like,
of it.
in your
Yeah, that's
failure.
right. After pretty much every failure, you do have that little time of you sitting down and just reflecting.
Yeah, once the pitted dick
Yeah.
comes out of your mouth, like
Exactly.
we've said before,
Yes.
then
Then that's reflection time.
reflection time.
But yeah, exactly. Again, with every failure, you have a win. And you just need to realize what that win is for you. We can't tell you what that is.
Yeah, we can't. But there might be so many things that you've solved, like problems that were a problem before, but now they're not. Whether it be, all the things we said, like you've already solved those problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know how to do this thing now, and you know how to do the business part of your job, or like what you didn't do well enough. Like, oh, next time I'll take help from a friend to do this part.
Yeah.
Or, like whatever it is, you know what goes into making a book or what goes into creating, because this is like, I have what we in Sweden call aktiebolag. I guess that's an LCC or whatever the fuck it's called in the US. Fuck it.
This is something you know and I do not.
But just starting a company, like I had a company in the past and it went poorly and I was like, oh, I can't do this shit. It's just too much work and blah, 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 blah. And after, I think I ran it from 2007 to 2010. I think those were the years where I ran it. And I was like, there's too much work. Fuck this shit. Blah, 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 blah. And then I just I closed everything down and I just used another service to do my freelance stuff. But then I just started talking to people, in the industry, and they're like, oh, well, you should have this type of company and you could do this and this. And, you start reading and you already have all the knowledge from your failed
Previous
company.
failure. Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's not harder than this? And I was like, but how do you do the accounting and things? He's like, I don't do my accounting. You're like, if you don't
You pay people for that.
And then you're like, yeah, but I don't have an income. They're like, it's not like you're making tons of money. You just don't need that much money to pay your, accountant. So I just started looking into cheap accounting and, and what it would cost me as a, low income company. It's still a side hustle for me, but it's just I looked it up. I started, I was like, okay, this wasn't that fucking complicated. And the benefits would be this and this. Like, for example, the way I run, the company that I have now, it's not, it's a entity of itself. Like if something goes wrong, my personal finances don't get, like pulled
Affected
in and
and-
affected.
no.
Yeah. And my family has to live on the street. No, it's
No.
just the
It's
company.
its own-
It's its own little thing.
Mhm.
Like unless I do something super criminal, then it's affecting everyone.
Yeah.
But as long as it's just, like, I invested in like these things and now I can't, like my company has no money in it and I have to close it down, bankruptcy, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That doesn't affect my personal finances and my family and house. So that is an awesome way for me to do, this whole company thing. But I would not have taken this step had I not failed at the earlier one and then learned from some other people's, like successes in the same thing. And then you start reading little by little. So I started my own company and I've been running it for 3 years now,
Yeah.
for all my freelance stuff. And it's going great. And when I pay my accountant, I'm just like, okay, you need these papers and I'm out.
Yeah.
And then I
that's
just
pretty
look
much
at it
all
and it's like, yep, these are the gigs that I did. This is the amount of money. Yep. I get it. Cool.
And that's it.
And I sign it. That's it. And then
Awesome.
I send it in to, whoever the fuck is the magic people of money.
See, I don't even have to do that.
Yeah, cool.
I only hand in my papers,
Mhm.
and then my guy
I don't
just.
have papers. That's the thing. You send them. You give them paper.
Yeah,
don't-
I have to.
I
I
don't
have to
have
have
paper
a
at all.
receipt for the services rendered.
Yeah. But I have, digital copies of my
Mhm.
stuff that I send to them.
And that's something that I'm probably going to be doing in.
Oh, the new place?
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like sending e-receipts.
exactly. Saving paper, nature.
Yep.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Gotta love them trees.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like getting fucked with freelance work as well that we've
Oh my
talked
God,
about
yep.
a lot. But
Yes.
that's also like something like you set out to do your thing and then you get fucked along the way by people that want to sort of like use you
Yeah.
because you don't know better.
That's exactly.
You learn. You set up sort of like countermeasures for that stuff.
And you have to go through that process, I think.
To some extent, yes.
You need to learn that way. Like, maybe not, as much as we have because we can tell you what not to do. But it doesn't matter because the first job you do is probably not going to be the best paid job. And
Unless it
best
is,
jo-
yeah.
Yeah, some
You
people are
never
super
know, yeah.
lucky. And if you are, awesome. Congrats. But no, most likely you'll do something that you think is for a lot of money because you don't have anything to sort of relate to.
To compare to.
Yeah, so you're like, oh my God, 500 crowns. They're
Yeah,
going to pay
and
me
you're the
500 crowns for this painting that
Yeah.
I did in like 12
weeks,
hours
yeah.
or,
3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? 500 crowns or
Yeah.
$50
Yeah,
or whatever?
yeah. But it's like, I'm the most underpaid person.
Oh,
Yay!
shit, yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting money for something I did.
Yeah.
And then you just, talk to Elias and he's like, dude, no, you should like add 2 zeros to that 50.
Mm-hmm. And I look very disappointedly at you.
Yes.
No, but we all have to start somewhere, and worrying about sort of like if you're gonna succeed or not, don't. Fucking who cares?
No.
There is success in failure. Like there is something there
Yes.
that will help you along the way later. Like you will learn so much, be frustrated a lot,
Yeah.
but you will you'll get there. You're like there's so much value in just doing things.
And we could draw the parallel to even, a breakup or, a failed relationship even.
Ah, shit,
Like
yeah.
if you really want to go that far.
Yeah, we even talked about that.
Exactly,
Like recently, yeah.
Just, having been in a long-term relationship and after it ends realizing how shitty it was,
Yeah.
when you get into the next one, you know what the shitty parts were because
Yeah.
you've sat down and reflected over this,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully. So then you know sort of where you have your lines drawn and you're like, well, I'm not going to cross that fucking line again because
Yeah.
that made me miserable.
Yeah.
And so and so and so. Like you can parallel this to every part of your life, really.
Mhm.
So again, trying to make that shitty situation into a positive, it's hard when you're in it.
No, yeah, that you'll never be able to. Like, you
But-
have to be some fucking
Exactly.
meta-human to be able to.
And here we can draw the parallel of like, well, if you're in it, it's like you're resting your face on the painting you're painting.
Mhm.
Like if you have your head up against your fucking painting, you're not going to see the painting. You have to take a step back and really look at the whole picture, really getting la-di-da here. But that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to take yourself out of it a bit and just, see the big picture, people. And only then can you be enlightened and move on.
But I also think that just like going back to old artwork and then maybe just like painting over it or just redrawing it, like one that you struggled with a lot. But then going back...
Even one that you're super happy with from back then. That'd be cool to just see.
But the reason why I'm saying something you struggled with is because it felt like a failure back then.
Yeah.
So you go back and then you sort of like you meet it with your future you. And then you're like, why did I struggle with this?
Yeah.
Because you didn't have the experience.
Of course.
And you will never have the experience unless you put yourself out there. That's the thing. You'll never become the future you that can solve that problem.
Unless you do that.
Unless you face it. Yeah, exactly.
You need to, fuck.
A lot of it is learned by failing or doing, it'll all be revealed in the doing, basically.
We've pretty much said the same thing, I think, 7 or 8 times now. So,
Very good.
So you know
But
this.
you know how to cut
Yes.
and edit, and you won't.
And I will
And
leave
I love
all of this.
Love it.
It's all going to be in here.
No, but I think just like finding goals that you can go out there and, do.
Yeah.
Some of them will be smaller and it'll be like, I'll walk from A to B, Some will be that simple.
Yes.
And you'll probably maybe succeed in one go. But then you need to have something, that where you're passionate about and just try that as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't let anything stop you because there's just...
Everything is obtainable.
Yeah.
It is. Like, seriously, everything is. But it's going to take a shit ton of work, and the failure is the work. That's what it is.
Sometimes, yeah. Or you'll be like one of those lucky motherfuckers that just like, oh, I'm just going to try this super complicated thing. I succeeded yet.
Yeah, I'm just going to...
And that was your journey.
The one, and I'll just get a trislot.
Exactly.
Just give me a lottery ticket as well, on the way. And then you... Ta-da!
Ta-da! Solved all my problems.
Yeah.
That were financial. Yeah. But again, like, I think when you look at successful people, you only see the successful part. You don't see the,
Well, you see the Insta filter.
Yeah.
That's it. That you see everything
if you
through.
go through, if you go through social media. But it is like, you usually see highlights no matter where you're looking. Like, you don't see anyone. You didn't see how these people grew up. Maybe,
Yeah, you have no idea what fucking shit they've gone through to get to where they are. It could be horrible, but it could also be beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, in the end, it all is kind of beautiful.
But I like the Netflix documentary about Peter Laird and
the Turtles.
Yeah, Kevin Eastman.
Yeah.
And like sort of how they started with their Ninja Turtles thing and how they tried to distribute it and everything. And then, God damn it. It's been months. No, but
many moons
ago, it was predicted that we were going to say and then we did.
And so we still did.
But again, that documentary really shows like, sure, they have a lot of photos and documentation of where they started off, and how they sort of found each other and they wanted to do this thing, and it grew out of, a stupid joke that they had, where they were gonna like, turtles, and then let's make them ninjas, and they just grew from there.
Yeah.
And then they had a comic, and they just kept going with it, and now it's this like multi-million fucking thing.
It's an industry.
Thing. It's an industry.
It's
been an industry, and they keep just rebooting it, and it works.
It still works.
Like, it was this like dark ninja, comic where these turtles killed everything basically, and then it became, like this cartoon that was going to sell toys, and then they took it from there.
They killed Shredder in the first episode, just so you know. The first comic book, they killed the Shredder.
Exactly.
That says a lot. Yeah.
And that's in the comic.
Yeah.
And it's insane. And then they just kept rebooting it, adding more characters to it, like flipping the whole concept of the turtles, reinventing them, but keeping their personalities basically. And it's been working. My kids have turtle toys. that are so much cooler than they were when I was a kid. And there's already like 2 generations of Ninja Turtle things in my kids' generation.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
There's the 3D one and the 2D one, the simpler.
Yeah.
They're both awesome. Like they're everything our Ninja Turtles weren't, but now that I go back and look at it, I'm like,
But it's even been rebooted as a live action movie.
oh, they were
just
so good.
Like even that.
And then the ones that we saw with the suits, and then the one that we talked.
The animated.
Yeah,
or
the
like-
live action animated one. Yeah,
Yeah, the
because it's
Transformers.
Transformers one. It's so weird. Yeah, when it's like.
It is.
It is.
It's
a
so
live
fucking
action.
It's definitely Transformers.
Yep. But
But in a good way.
it works.
It still
like,
works.
I can watch. I've seen both of them twice, at least.
Oh yeah, me too. Like it's one of those that like if I don't know what to watch and it
They're
pops
just
up
fun,
on Netflix,
yeah, and you
I
always
will
get something new
probably
out of
click
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fun ride, especially the one where they go down the slope.
Yes.
It's a fun ride.
So good.
And it does cool shit that I wanted the Ninja Turtles, or like that they did when I played with them, at least, And it's just, I don't know, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So just go out there, people, and try some shit out. Who
Dare
knows?
to fail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Very good, us. We
Very
didn't
good.
repeat at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
So if you wanted to,
yeah,
do a
exactly.
comic
If you
book
think,
and
so do we have anyone like, did we repeat ourselves? Like, say it now or forever hold your peace.
I'm not hearing anything.
No, I'm not hearing
No,
anything either.
no. So today we're gonna talk about no
Goals.
super bad.
No, but just
Yes.
set goals, write them down. Specifically, just do that. Like, write them down so you know you can tick them off when they're done.
So both do like the Shia LaBeouf thing and also the Frozen thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Get the references. Go back and listen to all the previous episodes.
Exactly.
And the Shia LaBeouf, I guess, kind of
Speaks for
explains it.
itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also Nike, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Yeah.
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 Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a silent conversation. Or
All right. Moving on. Or
moving on. There's
moving-
moving on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's try it.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. We have moved. On.
So, any tools?
Tools.
Do you have anything?
No.
No. All right. Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Retro.
So you got anything?
Ninja Turtles? No. just
Turtles!
kidding.
But yeah, so the show you were referring to on Netflix was The Toys That Made Us.
Yes. Fuck. Yes.
So it's about
That's it.
making the Turtles toys. And it's amazing. If you haven't seen that show, it really, like, they cover pretty much all the toys that we grew up with.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, it's an amazing show.
Yes. And you just have to watch the toys that you know. I just yawned.
What did you say?
No, but just watch the toys that you
Know and love.
know and love.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's how that show works.
Yeah.
Like if you
But-
watch, like,
but even the Barbie one was
actually,
nice.
No, but Barbie is a
It's-
big part. Like it's not something I played with,
But it's
but
our
it
history.
was. It's hard to deny that Barbie
Hell yeah.
was everywhere growing up. Like she was with every Hot Wheels thing that you saw, or Action Man, the greatest hero of them all. What do you think was in between those, or like the first one, or like ended on Barbie?
Exactly.
Barbie was everywhere.
And actually, we have a request from the missus. She wants us to see Barbie and the Rockstars, which was her favorite animated movie as a kid growing up. I think it's
sounds
Barbie
like
and the Rockstars.
something. Rock and Royals.
No, like it is a Barbie movie.
Yeah,
Barbie
that
and
was a
Rock.
Barbie movie as well. My
Oh, really?
daughter watches Barbie movies, or
Okay,
used
So,
to.
but this is like
Old.
90s.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we'll look
I
that
think
up.
it's Barbie and the Rockstars.
Mhm. Cool.
It doesn't matter.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
There's
So
a newer one called
Barbie,
whatever I said.
Barbie and
Rock
something.
and Royals.
Rock and Royals.
Yeah, Barbie. Rock and Royals.
Let's not watch that.
It's
It's good?
mm,
No.
nah, but
no.
it's okay. It's passable.
Bakabi.
Like if I have to watch, I'd probably just watch those. I actually did see like an old My Little Pony one when my daughter was young. Like I think I downloaded, back when you were downloading.
Yeah.
We did download like a lot of like old like things that we grew up with, and one of them was like the My Little Ponies, the old stuff.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Was that even good? No.
Just like
Just leave it.
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like my daughter loved it.
Well,
but I do love the newer ones more because they're fucking funny.
Yeah, that was actually, I kind of connected with one of my sister's best friend's kids at Midsummer this year. She's, I think, 2 or 3. But
nice.
It was so cool because she speaks, I think, English, French, and Swedish. And she was watching the English version of the new My Little Pony. And I just walked past her. She was sitting on the couch. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, you're watching My Little Pony. That's awesome. I love this. La, 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 la. And immediately, like, best friend.
Best friend,
Yeah. So it just connected
but that's
us.
what I'm saying.
And then she heard that I spoke English. So then we could talk English together. And
That's
that
awesome,
became even cooler. So, yeah, we just became best friends.
That's awesome. My
So-
Little Pony saved me on. You remember that gig that I did on the game convention thing,
Yeah,
where I
that's right.
didn't know my demographic because I didn't read properly, and I thought I was gonna talk to grown-ups, and then everyone was like 12 and below. Like there were older people there as well, but
Keeping
the
them company.
majority was like My Little Pony age.
Fantastic.
And I was like, okay, I was just going to scrap everything I said I was going to talk about. And like, who watches My Little Pony? And it worked. It fucking worked.
Saved the day.
It did save the day. Holy shit. I was like so happy because I was like, maybe they don't watch My Little Pony, like sweat. But everyone raised their hand basically because of it.
Fantastic.
And it was awesome.
Good.
It was
Good.
awesome. Yeah.
What else do we have that we can talk about in
That
regards to like retro stuff?
Mm,
Because, yeah, I'm trying to not do anything
that
at the
we've done
moment.
before?
No, exactly.
Well, oh man, I did. There is a thing that I did see a while back. I just can't think of it.
We
God
watched The Force Awakens, and I really appreciate that movie a lot more now. Like, I always loved it.
I haven't seen the latest one though. Like this.
Oh, you still need to fucking see that. You
I
need-
know.
yeah.
I just need to see it.
But so after seeing that one, like the 2 last ones,
Mhm.
The Force Awakens is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
so
thought as well.
good,
But I
so
thought so
good.
back then as well.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though
No,
it
I
was
did
the
too. I
same,
did
but
too.
the
Seriously.
dynamic between the characters is just magical.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like the way everything works in that movie is
Let's
just
complain
fucking
about
perfect.
those movies.
Yeah.
Because we haven't recorded a 4-hour episode
No,
about
not at
complaining
all.
about them.
Not at all.
Oh, man.
No, and
Shrek.
I
We're not
still need to see the last season of Clone Wars.
I've not seen any season of that. I've seen like 2 episodes.
I mean, it's not the best, but it's
I
still
don't
Star
mind.
Wars and it's entertaining, and it does tie the movies together, like the
Which is
episode-
pretty cool though.
2
I
and
love
3.
that they still keep like within the
But that's the thing. Like when you watch episode 1, 2, and 3,
yeah.
there is a really big gap between 2 and 3. Like a
Mhm.
lot of shit has happened because Anakin goes from this like dweeb dude with
Mhm.
Natalie Portman to this full-grown general.
Yeah.
Like he's General Anakin and he's this badass warrior fighter pilot. Like he's seen some shit
Mm-hmm.
with Obi-Wan. And
Yeah.
then you're like, but I want to see that.
Yeah, I think it's important as well to know where Anakin is going. 'Cause
Exactly.
For me, it just felt like he just became Wine-a-kin, where he whined a lot,
And then he's like
and then
the
he
baddest
just goes the
badass
badass.
of the
Yeah, exactly.
universe.
Just
like how the
suddenly.
fuck did that happen?
Yeah, what hurt him? So bad.
What hurt him?
you?
Yes. Oh.
Anakin, it's
Let me
not your
save you.
fault. Yeah. He needed a fucking Robin Williams
Yeah, he
there
did.
to
Yeah, he
fucking
fucking did.
tell him.
But so the last season apparently really ties everything together.
That's very cool.
So I'm anxious to see that. But I'm also like, why the fuck can't Disney Plus just be here so I can watch
September,
it without
bro.
feeling?
September.
Yeah, I know, but it's September.
I know.
Well, it's
I
probably
was
when
like,
this
suck.
episode is airing, so
So it's
yeah,
fine.
it's fine. I probably
They're like,
seen
what
it
are you
already.
talking about? It's already out.
Yeah. No. So the last 4 episodes of season 4
Mm-hmm.
of the Clone Wars is like a must-see, apparently. So
Mhm.
that's on the watch list. And if you have seen them, don't spoil anything because I haven't seen it yet. There you go.
Very cool.
Anything else?
No. But I was thinking about Chronicle that we've talked about
Never.
ages ago.
Never.
And a couple of times more after that or before that.
Mhm.
But I was just thinking that's like one of those. Sure, it had millions in budget, like 12 million. But still, just trying to go out there and just like try to do stuff like it could become so epic, you know,
yeah.
like
yeah.
like
Because
a movie-
it could have
yeah.
so easily have become an epic fail.
Yeah, oh,
Like,
dude,
it could have
that
become
movie.
like
but that's
a
what I'm
Sharknado
saying.
without
like,
sharks. You know what I mean?
and
like-
the thing is, I even think that Sharknado brought in more money than they spent recording it.
Oh,
like I like
No, Sharknado.
like since we're on this topic today, I think there are like you have to just do what you want, like Kung Fury.
happy accidents. I
Kung
guess.
Fury could have sucked all the bags of dicks mentioned in this podcast.
No, it couldn't because the premise was beautiful. and
I know, but then try to live up to that premise.
Yeah, which
How the fuck do you do that?
I guess
like,
that's what they're trying to do now with the Hollywood version
yeah,
of it,
with the Hollywood,
which I assume will
and
never
so
ever
many
be made.
actors want to be part of it.
Oh, really?
and- yeah, dude. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Oh my God.
Elijah Wood, and like I don't remember other top names as well. Just everyone
Oh my
wants to be
God.
part of this.
Like it made me so happy in my stomach just hearing all that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Just imagine.
but I don't know
seeing-
where they're at right now, but
Imagine like a $40 million budget for a Kung Fury Hollywood.
yes,
Movie.
but I think like what we've said before is consistency. You
Yeah.
know, like keeping it sucky all the way through.
Yeah.
And not
Yep,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
make it super cool to the point where it gets like American, not like I don't mean Americanized in that sense, but Hollywood-defied. You know what I mean? Where they just like it all becomes like the Spider-Man movie with Garfield with the American flags and the cranes.
Yeah.
Like that ruined everything. That was
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong in being happy about your country, but you can't take Spider-Man and just make it about
Team America.
Team America.
Like
Like,
I just recently saw it.
I need to actually just see it because
on
I've
Prime.
only seen
Prime Video. Yes.
But I'm
awesome.
just saying that like it doesn't matter if it was Swedish flags and Swedish doing this. It just
Yeah.
it's not great. Like
No.
I don't think it
But
tells like
I
you,
think
you
the
deviate
world-
from the.
Don't you think the world has evolved past that now, in a way?
I don't think so.
Like the future of Hollywood after all the shit that's gone down now.
I don't know,
I
man.
think it's gonna be toned down because
Maybe-
America
maybe.
isn't the proud nation that it used to be.
Oh, I think the people are proud. Like I don't want to speak for you.
No,
like,
no.
But I'm just saying that.
And
it's-
I mean, we're ignorant people sitting here in our little basement room,
Yeah.
never ever watching any news or anything like that, really.
Very little.
So we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Nope. We're just speculating.
Yes,
Like most of the times.
but there are like really big events that are happening at the moment.
You mean like around the world?
around the
like
world? Yes,
From the
we're-
pandemic to Black
World
Lives
War
Matter
III.
to
which is kind of happening right now, which is fucking crazy.
What? What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
in
Crazy.
Saudi Arabia, I think something like that whole the Middle
the
East
whole
is
Middle Eastern, yeah. I have
it's-
no idea about that stuff.
No.
Like I have no idea. Like except the little things that you read here and there.
Yeah.
My picture is very, very unclear.
no. So 2020 is the year. It's like
Where shit happens.
yeah. I think we're all just fucked. So, but thankfully we have over 100 podcast episodes that will help you through these dark times.
Worst pitch.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not the pitchy guy. Okay, you pitch. I just fill in the blanks.
You son of a bitch. Just the worst.
Yeah, God, my brain just automatically goes to
You
sexual
know what I mean.
references all the time. Yeah, pitching, me filling in blanks.
But I don't remember where the fuck were we before all that happened.
Star Wars, Clone Wars.
Star Wars, Clone Wars,
Yes.
tying things together.
No, we were.
No, Chronicle.
Yeah.
Let's get back to that. No, but just
The Art of Failing.
yeah, exactly. Just to tie it back to that, although movie-wise, like there are some, like gems out there where people attempted to do, like the Blair Witch Project. Would you watch it now and think it's amazing? Maybe not. But when that movie came out, like
It turned the world upside down.
exactly,
It's the biggest independent movie
because now
ever
I need
made.
to see how much it cost. Because I think it was just like crazy low budget.
I think Deadpool was close to beating it, but didn't. Or maybe they just did.
No, they did not. They did not fucking beat it.
No, it's like one of the biggest grossing movies.
Budget $60,000.
$60,000.
Yeah, to make this movie.
That's insane.
It's still like a lot of money for us,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
in
If-
that sense.
If we're gonna do it, yes,
Yeah.
that would take us a long time.
No, but I would just mean I don't have that money.
Mm.
And they made $248 million.
That's so
That's a
fucking crazy.
pretty nice return investment on that.
Yeah,
And that's why you should write that fucking novel that's going to suck, or maybe
Yes.
not. You should, like, you should pursue it. Like, the guy that wrote, what is that stupid movie, Aragon?
oh yeah,
That shitty movie that
Yeah.
became a movie and failed hard.
yes it did.
And the guy that wrote the books, he started when he was 16. I read the books, or, listened to them. And they are written very naively, but they're still great fun. They still sold like a ton. Is it my favorite book series? I don't think so. But
He's not complaining. I
he's
think.
not complaining. And it is like, I can't even imagine how much he learned doing those books when he was, 16 or 14.
17,
Whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, it was early. Like, he was super young. I think he's classified, or back then he was classified as the youngest author in
History?
ever. Yeah, to release like something that sold.
That's crazy.
Like, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that just means that you listening can also
Mhm.
do this.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, there is no point in like whatever your creative endeavors are. Like, the earlier you start, the more you'll learn from it,
Exactly.
and the faster you'll find what the fuck it is you want to do.
Mm.
Because you want to write scripts, make movies, write books, whatever it is. Like, it's all within your grasp. And there are some cool examples out there, like some of these mentioned. Like,
Just gambles, I guess we can call them.
dude, so much. Like,
Fuck
if someone
let's
showed me
do it.
Blair Witch, I would have just laughed.
Yeah.
Like, I got this idea. And I was like, I don't know, bro.
Nothing
and then-
really happens in
yeah.
that fucking movie.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. And
And it still
you
works.
would listen to me, like something that I said.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Like, no, you just fucking do your stupid movie. And then that stupid movie for 60.
Big Trouble in Little China, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Biggest bomb when it came. Like, The Thing. The biggest bomb. Like, it was
Oh, dude,
so
all these
fucking
movies.
shitty.
All these.
It got the
Monster
worst.
Squad.
Yes, all of these.
All these movies that we loved as kids. Like, they sucked all the dicks.
And if you look at, like, ask anybody today which sci-fi movie is one of the best movies in history, The fucking Thing. Like, the John Carpenter remake of The Thing is sort of labeled as the best sci-fi movie that has ever been made. All right? That shit bombed when it came out.
Mhm.
It didn't make any money. So, like, even if
You
sort of
today,
fail,
yeah.
tomorrow,
Might have
some-
a cult following.
exactly. So that's the cool thing about life. Like, you never know
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what you're gonna get. Chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Forrest Dump.
Dumb is dumb, but dumb does. Dumb, 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 dumb.
How good
That's
was
how
that
I
movie
feel.
though? That was a great movie though.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I saw it a lot of times.
Me too.
And that's the thing. Like, I was young when Forrest Gump, like, younger.
When
You
did
know,
that come out?
I
Like
have
91?
no idea.
Something.
94.
Yeah, always 91 or 94, right?
Because Jurassic Park was 93,
Yes.
so this one came after.
Yes.
So 94. Okay, now we have to look it up.
Yeah.
Man, where's our computer guy?
We should. Yeah.
We should have a computer guy.
Jamie, where are you?
Holy shit!
Whoa.
90 motherfucking 4.
No way. See?
I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, that's the only date or year.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
That is very good.
Very good.
Very, very good.
All right. So I really can't think of anything more to say.
No, neither can I. And we
So-
don't have to.
No,
Because
this is
bada
just
bing, bada bang.
super special.
Super special, special!
Awesome.
Motherfuckers!
It's been a pleasure
It's
talking
been a
to
pleasure!
you. Imagination burning. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes,
And
always.
sorry for this shitty little snippet episode, whatever. Hope you really got something
It's super
out
long.
of
What are you talking about? It's
Yeah.
super good.
it. But it does have very valuable messages if you can just sort of sift through all of
You don't
the
have to
crazy
sift
shit.
through because it's a repeat episode where
It
we
is.
repeat more than we've repeated in a long time. Without recaps. Like, we didn't even recap. We just kept
No.
saying the same things.
Yeah,
Like a boss.
that's what we do.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, every episode we've ever released hasn't been a great episode.
No.
But we've learned not to do that ever again. And then we keep making that
Yeah,
mistake.
I was just going to say, when are we implementing our learnings here? we
Well,
know.
but we in our defense, we have made some better ones. Because without failing and saying stupid shit and then saying stupider things, this podcast could have been so much worse.
Exactly. All the shitty episodes make the not that shitty episodes really good.
Exactly
Right?
that. There you go.
So,
So there's success in failing.
in a sea of poo, you can still find a gold nugget.
Exactly.
Or maybe it's a corn.
Depending if someone ate cold
piece of
nuggets
corn.
then.
Yeah, because corn doesn't actually disappear. It just stays the same.
That is the worst thing.
It
though.
comes
like
out
when
the way it
food
goes
that
in.
yeah fuck. So
That's
if
not
you
food.
eat corn, make sure you chew it a lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll just be there like, hey, like that paper clip from the old Windows. Hi, you seem to be having a problem.
And the computer goes flying out the window.
Yep.
Yep.
And with that said, bada bang, bada boom.
Skadoosh, motherfuckers.
Exactly. Don't bump ugly with my sister.
Yeah, that's right. Snowing in July. Or what is it? Oh, look, it's snowing. Yeah. Some shit. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. So with that, I'm pushing the fucking button.
Button in. Button in. Button in.